Introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Inside. Come on, QB, come on.
Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Watch the twist.
And that'll set them back 5. They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Saints. 41 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Now it's Martin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
They run again on first down. Martin. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Hey, got 4 down. 26.
On second down, Martin. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. The third down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage. Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Off the play fake. Here's Rosen. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Travis. Lucky. Zoom.
Now Martin running right. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
319.
Now Martin. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. Looking sideline, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. The 5th year back from Texas. This is Malcolm Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Prater's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Alert, alert. Alert, alert, alert. Watch it. Check 9, check 9.
Now Rosen looking to throw. To the right side and complete to Hurst. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Let's pick it up. Hug. 80. Hey, Haywood. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. 53 from my head.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen, he'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons push further out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Get 300.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Martin. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll run on first down. It's Brown looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. I'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tyus Bowser. What a play by him. That's a loss of 17. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Working from the gun, Rodgers looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Oh, he's got some break. Latavius Murray, the 40, 30. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Number 50. Hey, you block over here.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Blue 58. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Check four. Check four. Jump out.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Intended that time for Cooper, and that'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Stop here, D. Check, check. Front, right. Front. Hey, Charlie. 51, come on, boy. 51. Come on, D. Big edge. Big edge.
Rodgers now to throw again. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Alert.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They run it again with Martin. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3rd down. It's Doug Martin. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
You can't stop me. Middle. 951. Man, that's trash. And then on the
throwing on 2nd and long. Rosen. And this is caught by Evans. Touchdown, Falcons. Mike Evans with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers forced out to his left. And Cooper able to work his way open. That's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They run. Martin. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
88.
It's 2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Again, it's Martin. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 22.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Rosen will throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Rosen's pass incomplete in the end zone. Brings up 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch. 53's the mark. 53. Check.
Now Rosen. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons push further out in front. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Lutz with the extra point. And that will make this a 19-point game.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They run with Martin. He's been busy tonight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Martin. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. This is Brown on the carry. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now a run with Martin. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Saints on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, 626. 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Operating from the gun. Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adrian Claiborne in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. 23 yards, the final tally. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, Rosen's going to throw it. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Hey, Gywu. Check back 30.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. Airing this one out for Evans. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, orbit.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he'll find Hall. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Rosen now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Rosen. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From midfield now, here's Rosen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Smooth. 53, Mike. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Shift. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Dorsett's got it. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and